Sorry, hold on. I was trying to do it by phone. I mean, by computer, and I guess you can't.
Is that so?
I don't know. I was here, but I could not get on. And I sent a message like, "Hey, I can't get on."
We saw you, like we were trying to get you in here, but it did give us a message that said unable to join. So we were like, is it us? Is it her?
Oh, yeah. I guess you can't do it by computer. I guess. I guess.
Lesson learned, but hey, girl,
Hey.
thank you so much for being here with us tonight, Yolanda. I'm so excited. Are you Eastern time?
I'm actually in Central Time Zone right now.
Okay, so it's a little
Yeah.
for you, but
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you're hanging out with us this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Well, we're only an hour. Only
That's
an
not
hour.
bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us. I'm super excited to have you. The Chi is one of my favorite shows.
Mine too.
Especially right now. Like, we're going to get into that, but that show, it's amazing. Season 3 has been a roller coaster of emotions so far. So I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about that. But for those of you who are here and you don't know, Yolanda has actually been in a lot of other things besides Chi. Like, you are OG in the industry. Like, you're one of the GOATs. Like, Stranger Inside, amazing.
Thank you.
Actually posted that today as a Flashback Friday, just in preparation for this. But
oh wow,
amazing. The Get Down, which I didn't even realize. I didn't even make the connection that was you. You were Miss Green. When I realized that, I was like, what? You're so good. And then you were in Antwone Fisher. You were not so nice. You weren't very nice to him.
You know? Yeah, but that was my job, though. That was my job for that film.
For that film, it's acting.
Yeah.
It's called acting. But you did such an amazing job that I didn't even make the connection until, just in preparation for us speaking tonight. I didn't even make the connection that you were the woman who played that role. That's how amazing you were. Like,
Thank you.
You were unrecognizable. So, but now we recognize you from The Chi. You play Jada Washington. She is an amazing mother. She is tough. I feel like she is finding her way, but at the same time, she does have a really amazing sense of self. So can you tell us a little bit more about Jada Washington, a little bit more about your character and just her growth throughout these last few seasons?
Well, as far as Jada, I mean, I feel like it's kind of a twofold thing. I feel like the character is learning a lot about herself at this time. In season 3, I think she's really coming together as far as finding out who she is as a woman, right now, because her child is now grown. He's out of the house, even though he's back in the house.
Yeah.
But, it's like she knows he's okay in the world. And now it's time to find out who Jada is again, because she had him young and now she's alone. And, and she's now not taking care of others, so it's time for her to take care of herself. And that's a whole learning process that I think a lot of women go through when their children grow up and they are alone, they're single. And who are they? Who are they?
Yeah, you would be surprised. I mean, no, you wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure you understand just how hard that process is. Even when you're a single mom and your children haven't left the house yet, it's still hard just maintaining your sense of identity just between I'm not just this child's mother, I'm also a whole woman over here trying to thrive,
Yeah, and and this is the time. It's like she had Miss Ethel on one hand saying, lose it or, use it or you'll lose it, it'll dry up. And then you have, her child and friends, they're just like, get out there. And what do you do? Because you've been, you can almost use kids as a crutch in some ways, if you don't want to deal with that whole thing as far as dating and seeing other people, bringing other people into your life. And you might not be that person that likes to go out all the time. Yeah. So, like Jada said, you just want somebody to listen to some jazz with, go to Jamaica with, you want a companion.
Exactly. And that's really different from a booty call. That's really different from a fling,
a cute masseuse, that kind of thing.
Oh, girl.
Why did I even bring that one up? But it was so funny though. It was so funny and so
Great.
nothing I had ever done. You
I
know.
was cheering you on. I was like, yes, get yours. Please get it. So
but so many people felt that way for her. And you know, and I think, you know, sometimes you just need that to kind of break out and just kind of breathe and, you know, okay, maybe I can try to get out there now. Yeah, that just woke me up. Okay, I can do this, you know. So yeah.
Well, I'm rooting for Jada all season long. I hope we see a little bit more of that coming. So I do want to talk about something. In season 3, at the start of season 3, it was kind of quickly revealed to us that one of the main cast members would not be returning. And I don't want to give it away for people who are just now getting into it. And I don't really want to too much dwell on the why. I just want to talk about you guys and ask, was that a difficult transition to make?
I don't think so. Because, I mean, you know, looking at it business-wise, everything that came out about our show came out last year. And, you know, it's a few months after that, our writers go into work. And then just like clockwork, we get, you know, we find out about the new scripts. We find out where our characters are going. So we just go back to work, you know. We go back doing what we do. It allowed space for characters to grow, you know, storylines to get deeper. I just felt in some ways it just sort of freed up space. So, you know, it's part of the job. It's part of the job.
Absolutely. And I think you guys have been holding it down all season 3. Like, you have not.
Thank you.
You know, it still feels like a smooth running engine, you know.
But it's got new energy, you know. I just, yeah. And, you know, people aren't expecting this. Yeah. It just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's faster. Like, you're on the edge of your seat almost. Like, it's big. And before you know it, the episode is over. And you're like, what?
And that's how I feel TV should be, you know, leave you wanting more.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny that you say that because I was just talking with a friend about the fact that these episodes are like every week, and I wish I could binge because that's just what I do. I want to binge on these shows, like, but with you guys, you save us just a little bit, just enough to chew on to get through to the next week, and I have to say, like, it's difficult, but I'm loving it. It's not what I'm
okay.
I like that we get to
I like going back to that, you know, because we are all kind of used to watching the whole thing, watching as much as we can until we fall asleep, and then, you know, next day watching the last few episodes. But in this way, I do miss when there were those cliffhangers and you anticipated. I feel we don't need to know everything all the time. You know, we don't need to know all of what's happening.
I agree. And this show is slowly but surely teaching me that. So thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, guys. So I do want to find out, in what ways do you feel like you relate to your character, Jada? Are there any similarities?
Yeah, I feel like with Jada, she's probably the closest to me. And I would say just using common sense. I feel like she, you know, she uses it. She has it. I also feel she likes to help others. I feel those are probably the things that are closest to us, you know, that we're not trying to be something that we're not. We're just being, you know, and taking that in day by day.
Letting that character just come natural for you. You don't really have to.
Yeah, she does. She does. And I'm always kind of surprised by the situations she's put in that, you know, I can see myself being in these and doing this particular thing. I don't know about speed dating, but, you know, other things, yeah, you know.
I enjoyed that so much. I love seeing her.
It was so funny.
She was doing her little damnedest, but poor little Tip. Poor little Tip. Talk about her grandkids. Like,
no, I don't. Your grandma? It's like, yeah.
So far, I mean, there's been 3 seasons, and I'm praying that we get more.
Me too.
What has been your favorite development in Jada's storyline, in her character arc, if you will?
You know, for me, I don't know if this is exactly answering it right, but the end of season 2, the last episode, I loved seeing her with Darnell. I loved seeing them, you know, that to me was her falling into something that she knows is familiar. And I think we do that. It's not that these two hate each other, but they're comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when Emmett interrupts, like pulling away from that, but then the explanation to her child as to, you know, yo, you can't do this. It's like, I am a human being too, and I need, you know, companionship. I need a certain thing as well. And, you know, her being an adult with her child, I thought that was a very beautiful conversation.
That was amazing. I have to agree. And I think, in my opinion, you know, Emmett, even though he was really resistant to it at first, I think seeing her just trust her ex-husband again gave a little bit more leniency with him, because we do see now in season 3, he's calling him up, asking for advice. You know, they're kind of chummy. They're a little chummy. I mean, even though his advice is whack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're still a little buddy, but I think you bringing him back, I won't say bringing him back into your life, but just accepting what is for what is, allow Emmett to do the same thing. So I think it's really good. Let's talk about something.
Okay.
Let's talk about Johnny. Now you might be asking, who the heck is Johnny? But
Yeah.
that is Jada and Ronnie. Like, I thought they were.
Oh my gosh, you did that. I was like, okay, wait, I only remember this character and that character. Who's Johnny?
No, I thought we were going to shift them for a second. I thought it was going to be a whole Johnny moment, and then it just fell to pieces. Do you think that these two might, you know, rekindle something in the future?
No, I don't. You know, that was one of those things I didn't get in the first place. Because, you know, when I think about her, she's a caregiver. She's a mother to a child that's close in age to the child that he shot. You know, I don't think she would mess with that. I really don't. It was too messy of a situation, I felt. So I don't see it coming back around.
You know, when you put it that way, I could see that.
I mean, but she was also fixing him up as after he got shot himself. And it's just like, and he didn't take care of his grandmother, really? Yeah. I didn't understand that. Like,
maybe Jada was just in a dark place. I won't say dark, but she was a little lonely, maybe, and it was just
maybe. But yeah, I didn't. Maybe.
All right, so Johnny is not.
I don't see it. I don't.
It's not. All right, so Emmett, who was played by Jacob Lattimore on the show, who, by the way, he's like one of the Lattimores.
Part of that family. Yep.
Yeah, and he sings, he does music, like he's...
Yes, he does. He doesn't ever not sing. He's always singing and dancing. He's the funniest person I know, and so talented. That
must be cool for you guys on the set, though, like always having like private shows.
Always.
Or you probably get tired of it.
But he's a life, you know, he brings light when he comes. So it's always good.
That you guys have that relationship in real life. Plays your son on the show. And I love the relationship that you two have, like, especially now, leading up to season 3 and in season 3, you guys are like friends. I remember there was one scene where he was like, come on, mama, let's talk. Pull out the wine. We got to talk about this. Like, I loved that moment.
I thought it was cute too.
That was so cute. Do you pull from any life experience to play the role of the mother as Jada?
You know, I feel like she's so many women that I know, you know, so many friends that I know. She's also my sister and my nephew. Yeah. It's so crazy when I read stuff and I'm just like, oh, that's them. That's them. Yeah, right. You know, even the way that the banter between the mother and son, it's like, I've seen this a million times, but it's you know, it's a privilege to be able to bring these characters to life because they are so many people that we know.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about The Chi. I love that it's so gritty. It's so real. Like, these are my people. Conversations are like, just like I'm right in my own grandma's living room. And I love that. Lena, she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing now. So I want to ask you, what has been your favorite moment in this season so far? We've only had a few episodes, but what has been your favorite moment?
Well, I really liked coming into the wedding with Darnell. the whole wedding thing and all the different parts of it. I just thought it was a beautiful scene. I thought it was fun. And I thought it went to different places, you know, because you have those two coming in together, bickering as they do.
That was adorable.
You know, and then on the dance floor with, you know, that guy and just being left by her friend and then seeing her son, you know, afterwards. I feel like she got hit with, you know, a bunch of different sprinkles of things in life. So I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
The wedding.
I like how that kind of started. And like you said, how the season's energy has just been so fast paced. It even started off with you guys just moving up the hill, like, come on, we got to go. Like, that was so funny. That was so funny. But I do want to talk about, I guess we'll say just what's been the main crux of this season, which has been, gosh, I don't want to give too much away. But, I mean, if you're not watching it by now, we're like, it's episode 4 or 5. Keisha's disappearance, you know, she's missing right now. And it's been so hard to watch because it's so real and relatable to what is still happening right now to so many Black girls across the country, you know. And I think that this season is doing an amazing job just to bringing awareness to that, because when we weren't talking about missing girls before, now we're talking about Keisha, which just leads us to start thinking about other things, you know, bigger outside of this. So I actually have a quote that I wanted to read from the Women's Media Center. I want to read that to you and then just kind of ask you a little bit about how you feel. I'm going to cut it down a little bit, but it says, I'm going to cut it down, but it says, homeless Black girls, whether in shelters or on the streets, as well as those in foster care, are targets for sex trafficking and other forms of violence. Although some Black girls reside in loving and supportive foster homes, quite often Black girls without stable living situations run away from their homes or shelters, unknowingly enter even riskier circumstances. African American girls comprise over 40% of domestic sex trafficking victims in the U.S. So when I read that, because again, I just started to do a little bit of research about missing girls and just wanting to prepare to speak with you tonight, it really struck a chord with me because I just felt like that was just so sad, you know, and that's an understatement, you know. It's just, it really breaks my heart. And again, the Shy is really bringing awareness to that. So I want to ask you, like, what do you feel about, you know, just this whole storyline and what it means?
It's, you know, I feel it's an important story for us to see about ourselves, knowing that there are a lot of other people besides Black people that watch this show. I think it's important for them to see as well, because, you know, the statistics are there, the things that we show in the show as far as like the mother going into the school, you know, the cops not really doing much. It's like, oh yeah, well, she probably left with her boyfriend. And, you know, it's like, there's a lot of kids that go missing. And when those kids are brown, it's just, you know, it's less traumatic, you know, it's, you know, it's not less traumatic, but it's looked at differently. It's not pumped up in the media. You know, we just run away. We just do this. We just, you know, go off with their boyfriends. It's like, you know, I worked with gym girls in New York, and that's, you know, helping young girls get off the street. And it was a whole thing with just getting the law changed to stop calling these girls who are children women and putting them in jail for prostitution. And it's like, when you're 14, you're not a woman. You're not a woman.
You're being taken advantage of.
Yeah, exactly. You're a child still that somebody, you know, got you in some state, you know, where you weren't either secure with yourself or you were, you know, alone or whatever, but somebody got you, lured you, talked you into, oh, I'm your boyfriend now. Well, do this for me, and then you could be my girlfriend, or do this for me, and da-da-da. Well, I'll give you some money, or I'll help you. You go do that. And next thing you know, you can't get back to your family. And sometimes these girls do have families. So it's, you know, it's hard, but I'm glad that we're doing it so that people can see it.
I am so glad. Someone mentioned in the comments that this needs to be talked about so much, and I agree. And I think the writers would have to agree, Lena would have to agree, and I am so proud of you guys for just handling this topic the way you are. Like I said, I've been on the edge of my seat, but it has been an emotional journey. It hasn't been, oh, I hope they find her. Like, this has been just really difficult to watch because it's just so relatable.
Well, yeah, and I know what's coming up, and there's some heavy stuff coming up. But it's stuff that needs to be seen. So stick with us. I know. I know that much. I'm not saying anything.
So, Yolanda, I actually read that you are a self-taught actress, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I wanted to ask you, what all did that entail? When you say you're a self-taught actress, what does that mean?
I wouldn't say it's exactly taught anything. I think it's paying attention. It's paying attention to human behavior. It's paying attention and listening. It's being open and being truthful in response. Yeah. I really think that is it. It's not being taught anything, but it's being able to listen and respond truthfully.
When did you find the confidence or realize you were ready to really take this leap?
I believe I was led to it because it was never a plan. I didn't set out to act. I was in the fashion business. So it came about like somebody that I was working with was doing SNL, background work on SNL. And she got sick one weekend and I asked if I could fill in because, living in New York is always about money. How can you make a little more money? So they let me, they kept hiring me and I got my union card. Then I got an agent. Then I tried out for my first part, which was New York Undercover. And it was in that, like taking, sides, taking, the audition script and learning how to do this, what works for me, which is music. It was like I broke down that scene musically pretty much because it's like I can hear things and I know what makes me get to certain emotions. So that's how I broke it down and I booked it. So I knew that was something that I wanted to do because I was learning and it made me feel something and I was getting tired of the fashion business.
Wow. So you found your passion, it sounds like.
Yeah, I did because I also feel like I was probably led there anyway because I feel, actors are a jack of all trades. I feel like we can do anything realistically for a short amount of time. And there's so many things that I have learned and know how to do. Yeah. I get to utilize all of them in this job because each character is different.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So when you decided to move to New York to pursue your dreams, did you ever imagine that you would be here today, like on a show like The Shy? Was that even like the goal? Was that the end?
No, because it was fashion, but I also
at that time.
Yeah, but it was. I just knew I'd be out there doing something because even in the fashion business, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just stay open.
And you're that same way now? Do you feel like you're that same way today? You're still open?
Yeah, because nothing is given.
Right.
Nothing stays the same. So
is definitely constant. So Yolanda, you also write, you direct, and I don't know if everyone.
See, and that wasn't something I was planning.
I mean, you went from being in the fashion industry to being an actress to writing to producing to directing. I mean, you have so many talents and so many gifts. That's God. Yeah. That is so special. Is there any one of them that you enjoy the most?
Well, I love acting because these characters are going through me and I get to feel them and I get to learn things. So I would say that's probably my number one, but writing, directing, which I put into one because I don't tend to direct other people's stuff, but I get to create the world and the people in it. So I know the emotions from the inside out. So I love both of those.
Amazing. Thank you. So are you working on any projects right now aside from the Shy? Obviously the Shy, but what are some of the projects or anything that you've got going on that you can share with
I have a couple of projects that I had already, one that I'd created a while ago that I'm now moving forward, but there's a film that I am looking to hopefully direct in the next, I guess, the beginning of next year. Okay. That we're working on the financing and getting everything tight now. It's, it fell apart once, money, and now it's coming back together again. So it's about a Black couple in the arts.
Okay, well, we will be looking forward to that.
Please.
I pray that it works out this time.
Yeah, me too.
Glad it's coming back around, so another opportunity.
Yeah.
So what has been your favorite thing to do, keep yourself entertained during this whole quarantine season that we've been in?
Wine.
No. Oh, you are a woman after my own heart.
Oh my gosh. I start the day by going outside, like always, even when it's cold, and just, sitting still, listening to the birds,
the flowers and the plants that you take.
Oh, you see? Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, but that started with this, with being locked down and just really appreciating everything around me. And so I do that daily. I read a poem from Pablo Neruda, which people probably know as well because I post those. And I do, when I'm in LA, or when I was in LA, I loved just having dinner and sitting, having dinner, making dinner with my housemate and just talking and, talking about the day and having that kind of, that camaraderie with somebody.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that quarantine has just made us be able to kind of sit back and reflect on things.
Yeah.
Focus, kind of center ourselves, figure out.
I hope we keep that up because I do appreciate that kind of thing. I had, before that happened, I'd been wanting to have like Sunday dinners. It's nice to have something to look forward to see other people and share a meal, have drinks, talk, and just kind of be, know you have that chill out moment. So we'll see.
I have to agree. And I think that because we have to be so distant from each other now, that whenever we are around each other, I know that the phones kind of go away. That we actually appreciate that time that we get to spend together because who knows when, we'll have it again. So I don't know, 14 has been a curse, but it's been a blessing at the same time.
It has. I think it's taught us some things.
Yeah, for sure. Yolanda, do you have time to stick around for maybe a few questions?
Sure.
We have a few questions from your fans prior to.
Prior to me getting on, figuring out how to get on here.
Yes. So I have a couple questions for you. Stacy Oceans asked, what has been your favorite project to date, both acting or directing?
Oh my gosh, directing my short Breaking Night. It was just a magical experience to me. And it's on Vimeo and YouTube. It was on VH1 and MTV too, because it turned into a music video. But doing that and the crew I got to work with, it was magical to me. As far as acting, I would say Stranger Inside, because that was my first, and it's still my, it's my heart.
Such a good film. If you have not seen Stranger Inside, please go and watch it right after this.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, it's so good. You were acting your tailbone off.
Thank you.
That's one of those movies. Okay, Investment 0406 asks, out of all the characters you have played, which role did you have the most emotional connection with, and why?
I would still say Treasure.
Yeah, I was going to say
Stranger Inside. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That child in her was still there, that longing. And that's something that I feel that is in me. Mm-hmm. Even though I've never lived that kind of life, I just identify with her very deeply. That's
beautiful. I think we all of us can identify with her just a bit. That's why we felt so compassionate for her. Go and see Stranger Things, y'all. It's so good.
Stranger Inside.
Stranger Inside. I'm talking about Stranger Inside, y'all. Excuse me. Dalkyo85 asked, did you think the show would become as successful as it has become? And we're talking about obviously.
Yeah, because I mean there was room for it. You know, we were ready for it, and there wasn't anything like it. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that answer. I'm glad that you weren't like, no, we were trying to wait and see. Like, she's like, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really go into stuff like, you know, I don't feel like, you know, I felt like the Get Down would be on forever, but, you know, that didn't last. I didn't see that coming.
Why.
You know, who knows, but I love the show. But, you know, I could see it doing just as well as this did, but it didn't. I can see why this did.
Reason, you know, now you're on the side, you know, which is phenomenal. So, hey, it worked out. It worked out. John, I'm so sorry. John Z. Jamar, you know, these people be having some crazy Instagram. But John Z. Jamar asks, how is it working with Ladonna Title and AKA Miss Ethel?
Miss Ethel, I love her. She's so funny. She's so, she's just always ready. She's ready for whatever. And she's lively. Mm-hmm. You know, I love, that's a different energy. So I love being around it, you know, when I get to work with her.
The actual Miss Ethel?
Wait, say that again?
Is she anything like Miss Ethel?
She's loud. She's loud. But she's got Miss Ethel's energy.
Yeah.
You know, that is her, you know. So, I mean, you know, she's a radio personality in Chicago, and, you know, she's lively. Yeah. And she also has, I think, like a food show on YouTube.
Okay. She's really doing her thing out here.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Well, this has been really awesome. Do you have time for maybe one more question?
Sure.
Okay. So Pandemic Pastries 2020 asks, Pandemic Pastries?
Yo, I know her. She's the food. No joke. New Orleans. Okay,
like, say
yes. Yo, look at her site and just, you know, wipe your mouth because she can cook. She throws down.
Okay, well, shout out to Pandemic Pastries 2020.
Y'all better get your orders in, y'all. Pandemic Pastries in New Orleans.
Yolanda told you. All right. Hey, so she asked, or is it she?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you did say you know her. So what can we expect next for Jada?
Well, shoot, I don't know. You know, hopefully this, you know, thing with her man will like work out. You know, we'll see.
I don't know about him. I don't know.
What is it you don't know? What's wrong with him?
Man,
what?
She needs somebody more like I don't want to say rough because I'm not insinuating have issues, but like she needs like a man, like a more like how
You know
how, I'm gonna say it wrong. Duda, you know how Duda carries himself, maybe like him, but without like
without the thickness. Yeah.
She need a Duda type of man.
Duda light. Light.
I like a Duda-esque.
Yeah.
That's what I see. But Jada's growth has been amazing. I love that she's out here doing her thing now. She's dating. She's got these kids in her house, though. So.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, what's next is getting the family out of the house because I can already see that being whole family. It's not just my boy.
This relationship has kind of grown to be like, I don't want to say mother and daughter, but you two are like friends. I like that. Yeah,
I mean, she's actually taking advice and getting help, you know, from her. So, yeah, I do too, because it's one of those things where one generation is asking help of the other. And I think that's really nice when people are open to listening and, you know, it just moves back and forth between them.
Yeah, I like that. They're like kind of leaning off of each other a bit.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
Well, Yolanda.
Yo, I know this has been quick.
This has been quick, but it's been really fun. And
thank you.
To speak with, and I cannot wait for the next episode.
Me too. Sunday.
This Sunday. You want to tell us where to catch it, what time it comes on?
Yeah, it's on at 9:00. well, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time on Showtime, and 9 o'clock on the West Coast. Showtime.
Perfect.
And then I do on my YouTube and Instagram page, I have a talkback series that I put up after the last airing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called Talking Back.
Okay, so we'll have to check that out right along with the Shy. I cannot wait. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate you being here with us this evening. You guys have been watching Yolonda Ross chat it up with us here at Black Cinema Now. If you're not following us, go ahead and follow us. Make sure you're following Yolonda, obviously, and make sure you watch live on Sunday night. Thank you so much, beautiful.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks.